Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. My topic for today is all about the changing global landscape for the 21st century teachers. So, as a future teachers of the 21st century, there is an urgent need to understand the new landscape that is both about the changes in lives and bounds of the century. Furthermore, the development of 21st century skills is a necessary tool for teachers. So, without these 21st century tools, no teacher can survive. Zhou 2006 said that there were identified key categories of the different changes and developments in the 21st century teaching and learning. To understand the categories, the following should be done. The first is describe the new learning environment. Then the second is identify the new learning contents. The third one is explain the new processes of learning and how this will be facilitated. The fourth one is describe the new type of learners. And the last one is describe the new type of learners. Okay, let's move on to the new learning environment. The core idea here is a shift from the traditional confined classroom to a more expansive and flexible learning space. No longer are the four walls of a classroom and only place learning happens. This new environment is characterized by the several key features. The first is learner-centered. The second is new and borderless spaces. The third is enhanced opportunity for creativity and innovation, and the last one is use of ICT. So when we say learner-centered, the focus moves from the teacher as the sole source of knowledge to the students actively participating in their learning journey. This means more student-led projects, discussions, and investigations. The teacher acts more as a facilitator or guide. The next one is new and borderless spaces. So this one is learning extends beyond the physical classroom. This might include online learning platforms like Moodle or Canvas, virtual reality experiences, outdoor learning, or even learning experiences in the community. The boundaries of where learning takes place are removed. The third one is enhance opportunities for creativity and innovation. This one is the learning environment fosters creativity and encourages innovative thinking. This is achieved by providing opportunities for students to explore their ideas, experiment, and solve problems in unique ways. Open-ended projects and makerspaces are examples of this. The last one is use of ICT. Technology is not just a supplementary tool but an integral part of the learning process. This includes using computers, tablets, interactive whiteboards, educational software, and online resources to enhance learning experiences. Let's move on to the new learning contents. The content of what is taught is also changing dramatically. The vast amount of information now available means that simply memorizing facts is no longer sufficient. Instead, the focus shifts to first integrated or interdisciplinary. The second is demand driven. The third is emphasis on learning tools. And the last one is balance of scientific, technological, cultural, global, and local concepts. When we say integrated or interdisciplinary, subjects are no longer taught in isolation. Instead, connections are made between different subjects, allowing students to see how concepts relate to one another. For example, a history lesson might incorporate elements of geography, economics, and even in art. The next one is demand driven. The curriculum adapts to the needs of the students and the demands of the real world. This means incorporating current events, relevant skills, and addressing the specific needs of the community or the students themselves. The third one is emphasis on learning tools. When we say emphasis on learning tools, focus shifts from simply acquiring knowledge to learning how to effectively find, evaluate, and utilize knowledge. This includes critical thinking skills using this, information literacy, and the ability to discern credible sources. The last one that belongs to the new learning content is balance of scientific, technological, cultural, global, and local concepts. This one is learning content considers diverse perspectives and context. It incorporates both global issues and local realities, fostering intercultural understanding and a global awareness. So let's move on to the new learning process of learning and how this will be facilitated and via advancement study of the mind and cognition. Various processes of learning evolve with human intervention of teachers and peers, as well as non-human intervention of artificial intelligence or AI. AI is a very known nowadays, right? This include the idea of multiple ways of learning which can be mediated by the following: face-to-face, distance learning, blended modalities, experiential, and lifelong. So the first is face-to-face. So when learners and teachers are confined in the same learning space at the same time with the teacher facilitating learning. So face-to-face is a common way that uh, we we use day or every day when we go to the school. The next is distance learning. When teaching learning is mediated by traditional modules in print or modern technology, online or offline, without the physical presence of the teacher in a virtual class, it can be synchronous or asynchronous. So this one, we we use it right now, right? When our school declared that there is an asynchronous, so our classes will be online or our teachers send us as an assignment or an activity. The third one is blended modalities. Blended modalities. When teaching and learning is facilitated through face-to-face or distance learning, which enable to the teachers and learners to have both physical presence or physical absence in the teaching learning process. So when we say blended, all of the learning, teaching and learning styles will be used. Online, face-to-face, uh, modular, mostly blended learning. We use the blended learning at the common. We use the blended learning during the pandemic, modular, online, right? And the last is an experiential and lifelong, when learners are immersed. So this one is if what the students or the teachers experience, that um, uh, the experience that type of teaching or type of learning styles. So let's move on to the new type of learners. The new breed of learners does not have age boundaries. Learners maybe are in an informal, formal, or informal setting. So there are characteristics of a new type of learner. The first one is a confident person who thinks independently and critically and who communicates effectively. So this one is a when we say confident person, so confident and he or she can think independently and critically. He can think by her own, he can understand by her own, and he or she can communicate effectively to others. The next one is self-directed and who questions, reflects, and take responsibility for his or her own learning. So this one is he or she can understand with her own. So he or she can understand or takes responsibility for his or her own learning. She he or she doesn't need the other people to understand his learn his learn uh, to understand their learning. The third one is a concerned citizen, informed about the world and local affairs, has a strong sense of civic responsibilities, and participates actively in improving the lives of others. So this one is an um kanang active uh, when there is an event or even a program, he or she is always there and he or she is always participate. Or when there is a classmate, uh, other people that need his or her help, he or she is always there. The fourth one is a member of new generation pop culture, different ways of thinking, responding. So this one is a learners are part of a generation shaped by pop culture, new technologies, and different ways of thinking, interacting, and communicating. So the next is new types of learners. When we say new types of learners, are those coming from diverse backgrounds, multicultural and multi-generational, as coming from different age groups of lifelong learners. Okay, so when we say coming from diverse background, learners come from various cultural, socio-economic, and linguistic backgrounds. Next is multicultural and multi-generational. So it is learning environments include individuals from different cultures and age groups. And the last is lifelong learners. When we say lifelong learners, the emphasis is on continuous learning throughout life, not just during formal schooling. So let's move on to the life and career skills. The final point underscores the importance of integrating life and career skills into the educational process to enhance learning outcomes. This means equipping students not only with academic knowledge but also with the practical skills necessary for success in the workplace and in life. This might include things like communication, teamwork, problem solving, financial literacy, and digital literacy. And that would be all. Thank you for listening.